Hello, mixtresses and mixters. This is mixtressrae. You're watching Mixtress video. So this is kind of spontaneous. We just had the full moon in Virgo, also total lunar eclipse last night as I record this. And it was a blood moon because I didn't realize until right now that a blood moon is just another word for a lunar eclipse. Okay, so now I know. That it's possible I've also known that before and then just fucking forgot because that's what I do. But anyway, it felt like, you know, the weather's kind of tumultuous. It seems like it's calming down. But all day long the winds have been insane. And then we just had a crazy storm. As I was walking outside I was going outside to go for a walk, and it just started like the wind and the rain were just pelting me in the face. So I was like, okay, I gotta go inside. So I decided to instead do a collective reading. I haven't done one of these in a minute. So let's go. I pulled out cards to represent the full moon, the lunar eclipse, and Virgo. And now I'm going to light a partially burned incense stick that I put out yesterday because it was too strong for me. So we'll see if I can finish it. How are you guys doing? It seems like it was time to do a reading. So that is what obviously I am here to do. Move that a little bit. Hopefully you'll be able to see some of the smoke drifting in at some point. But I got out some decks. Let's see, how many did I get out? 5. 4 oracles, 1 tarot. I believe I have not shuffled. This is Crow's Magic, the tarot deck we're going to use today. I don't think I've shuffled it yet this year, so I'm going to have to take a little extra time to shuffle that. But we're going to use Dark Mirror Oracle, Tantric Dakini, Feathered Omens, and my Oracle deck, Mixtress Oracle. So, yeah. Do we want to do... I think I am going to do it as a collective reading instead of a pick-a-pile. So, first I'll start with the 2 main Oracle decks that are going to kind of set the tone. So let's do that first, and then I'll do the other decks here in a minute. We'll just set these, put this one on the bottom because I'll probably do the tarot last. Okay, sorry, I haven't done this in a while. Forgive me, I haven't done it in a while. At this point, I really only use Tantric Dakini for pick-a-pile or collective readings. So, oh, and it's in order. It's in order too. Okay, so I'm gonna have to shuffle this one for a minute as well. Can we make it so that you guys can... I don't know if you guys could even see what I was doing before. Sorry. I wanted you to be able to see the background cards. I'm not sure exactly how many cards we'll even be able to place out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let me just actually move the decks up here. And that'll be my sort of marker for what you guys can see. Okay, there we go. Should have done that before I hit record. Tagline of this channel. Okay, so we'll stick to 1 card from each. That seems correct, honestly. We are in Year of the Snake right now. And we got the Judgment card. We have a little meditating. It looks like it might be a meditating Kali, perhaps. I could be wrong about that. But with a labradorite head. And of course we've got a butt. Butts are good. So yeah, okay. That does feel correct, honestly. to get the Judgment card, because it does feel like some psychological turmoil is being stirred up by the blood moon eclipse and the winds and the rain in my area anyway. Yeah. So I'm going to choose also a card from Dark Mirror, because Dark Mirror is sort of a psychological, you know what? Okay. Dark Mirror has moon phases on each card. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to set aside the full moon cards and just shuffle from those. That'll be interesting. Okay. There are 4 full moon cards. So we are going to pick one. What do you think? The child I was meant to be. Okay. So we've got someone holding, so it's like kind of an ace energy because she's holding a sprouting seed in her hand. Okay, so that is something like, as far as, since this is primarily like a psychological deep dive, sort of journaling kind of deck, I would encourage you to kind of journal about that. Like, the child I was meant to be. So, like, what if, the way I always think about this card is, what if you didn't have trauma in your childhood? How, like, what kind of person do you think you would be now if trauma did not stick to you as a child? If the things that happened to you as a child did not, and of course we can't be the person without trauma. We all have trauma. But what if you were to operate as if you don't have that trauma? How would your life look different? Is there anything you can take from that thought experiment? Is there anything that, or does that, like for me, I feel like if I were to really reflect on my childhood trauma, what if it didn't happen? What if my dad wasn't an asshole, etc.? Like, how would that really, I think in the end I would choose, not that I would choose to have the trauma, you know, it's not like that. But I think in the end, I'm not really looking to that. I'm not really trying to, I'm not really trying to not be traumatized. I am traumatized. And that's how I'm trying to not let new traumas stick to me, yes, but the things that have already sort of integrated into who I am, like, I can't do anything about that, so I might as well work with it instead of against it. You know what I mean? Okay, and we got from Feathered Omens, we got Hummingbird, Dreams, and New Joy Within Reach. That's nice. I think we can all agree that's nice. Dreams and New Joy Within Reach. Can I put it over here? Yes. Hopefully you can still kind of see that. And now I'll pull the last oracle card from the Mixtress Oracle. So this is going to be a song. We're choosing a song. Got a mourning dove singing outside. That's a good sign. The birds are singing again. I think the storm is passing. Perhaps. Okay. Our song is, it's the title card, which has a lyric on it. You've got the music in you. So I'll go ahead and I'll use it because I keep it in there because it does have a lyric from a song. So this is Lana Del Rey's West Coast. You've got the music in you. And it's about, there's also a lyric in that song, I'm leaving you for the music, it's true. So it's like someone that's like, in her case, it could be about choosing career over boys, but it could also be about choosing choosing music over, choosing career over relationships, choosing choosing what joy lights you up instead of the trauma. Again, I'm referring, so maybe like the specific child I was meant to be psychology is specifically for us dealing with relationship trauma that we had when we were young. I mean, I, for one, I mean, this is kind of personal, but I mean, I know this is an outdated term, but I'll use it anyway with air quotes. I lost my virginity at 15. And to an older man, I mean, he wasn't significantly, I mean, it was significant for how young I was. You know, I was 15, he was 17 or 18. I think anyway, I'm not going to get into the logistics of which time, which thing actually counts as me losing my virginity. But I think it's safe to say that I was 15 and I think he was 18 at the time. So he was a senior in high school and I was a freshman. So that's a big age gap when you are that age, right? So what is the childhood trauma that I dealt with based on that? And what if I had chosen the music over him? So that's just my own like little thought experiment here. Riffing off of the child I was meant to be and the judgment card and the Lana Del Rey lyric of you've got the music in you and I'm leaving you for the music, you for the music, it's true. There's a crow. There's a crow. Maybe they're sounding the all clear. Okay, I'm shuffling the tarot. And I'm going to shuffle like a little extra long. And sorry, I know you guys are just like hearing me shuffle without seeing it, but I'd have to lean forward pretty far to actually shuffle on screen right now. I'm choosing to actually get a good shuffle instead of the aesthetics of you guys being able to see it. Okay. My first time using Crow's Magic this year with you guys. It just felt like right, because I consider this deck to be sort of a... Oh no, we're not going to be able to get the whole cards on screen, are we? Because of the weird-ass angle that I've got going. Oh well, okay. Maybe I can move the oracle cards up a bit. Yeah, that'll work. That'll kind of work. Good enough. As my art teacher in high school used to say, good enough for government work. Okay, we'll flip these over in a second, and then I'll worry about the aesthetics in a minute. I'm telling that. I'm saying that out loud so that I won't be worrying about it right now too much. Okay, I need to take a drink. Get a drink. Okay. So, maybe I am encouraging you to, like, whatever traumas this particular eclipse moment is bringing up for you, that has to specifically do with your childhood, so traumas that are still affecting you from your childhood. So I want you to keep that in mind as I'm shuffling right now. Okay. 3 cards just fell onto the floor. Oh no, 4. It's 4 cards just fell onto the floor. Okay, that's too many. That's too many. But I think I will take a couple of them. Okay, let's just start with this. We've got 6 cards. And we'll get more if we need them. Okay. So, do we want to turn them over right to left, maybe? Are we going to get them all on the screen? I'll pull them up so that you can see them as well as I'm flipping them over. We'll go left to right, actually, even though I just said right to left. Ace of Swords, powerful and dynamic. Ace of Coins, wealth arising. 9 of Wands, dazed and confused. 3 of Cups, fruition and realization. Oh, we got a reversed. Knight of Wands, shapeshift and change. Got like a fucking pterodactyl right there. And then we got Knight of Swords, intent and hunger. With this like, I mean, I guess maybe that's supposed to be a crow, but it looks more like a bluebird crow hybrid to me. Because the beak is wrong to be like a crow, but okay, let's see. I'm going to just sort of overlap that with, okay. I want you to be able to see everything, but this Ace of Swords is definitely being cut off. Maybe I should move them all over a bit. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Good enough for government work, again. Okay, so we got 2 aces. A 9, a 3, and 2 knights. So this has been happening lately with my patron readings that I do over on Patreon. I do a weekly reading for them over there. And it's been happening lately that we've been getting the message to kind of like, hold up. Don't take any action right now. It feels like that phase is ending and it's about time to take action. However, this reverse Knight of Wands tells me it's not really time yet. We're almost there. 9 of Wands and Knight of Wands reversed is telling me we're almost there. We're almost ready to actually start acting. And the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups, like those are very high action cards, high potential, more high potential than high action, right? So it's like we are the gathering storm. We are the shapeshifter. And we're not necessarily turning into something that's all love and light right now. You know, things are going to be realized and come into fruition as well, is what this all, yeah. I think we are on the precipice of, I mean, great change, but also, like, it feels, I know, politically, it feels really fucking scary right now. And the reality is, our society is set up to be beneficial to only a very small number of people, right? And don't forget that we are the 99%. I mean, yes, that's kind of an older phrase that people don't use that often anymore, but it's still true. we have to, the ones in power, the very small number of people that have all of the fucking wealth in this country and have all of the control, they do need us to they do need us to participate in the society that benefits them. They need our participation. So how can we disrupt them? How can we choose not to participate in their bullshit? These are good questions to ask, because I don't know about you, but when I was a child, I was raised on the American dream. The whole, like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You can get anything done. Like, your dreams are achievable, etc. That was possible for people growing up, like, of my grandpa's generation, because we had a more socialist government back then. We could actually, like, make some wealth for ourselves, and then if we made too much, we would get highly taxed for it. Anyway, not to, like, feel like I'm straying from the reading, but I think these things are important. I think, like, right now, the seeds we plant will grow. So it's important where we focus our energy right now. It's important what we plant. It's important where our intentions are, because they want us to be dazed and confused. They want us to be just scrolling on our smartphones, disassociating. And that's legit. Like, I get it. But we do need to act. We need to organize. We need to realize that the enemy is not your neighbor with the Trump sign in their yard, even though it seems like they are. I mean, some of them are. Some of them are. But overall, the followers of the hateful people are not the same as the hateful people. They don't have the privileges that the hateful people have. They are victims of their own circumstances as well. And part of the reason why I'm making this super political is also because I'm sort of respecting the moment of the eclipse for me personally. So I'm taking it, so literally last night, the eclipse happened at from 1:30 to 2 a.m. my time, which is later than I normally stay up, but it's not that much later than I normally stay up on a Thursday night. So I actually just stayed up late so that I could go outside and watch the eclipse. And the best place for me to see it was in my backyard. And when I went out there, the entire time, my soundtrack was a person going through my neighbor's trash. The whole time. I should have gone inside to get some headphones to sort of block the sound out, because it was very distracting. You know, I'm trying to enjoy the eclipse. I was thinking about, like, taking a deck out there and doing a little reading and lighting a candle, doing maybe like a little ritual or something, and I didn't end up doing any of that. In fact, I didn't even stay for the entire eclipse, because all I could hear was someone with their phone flashlight going through my neighbor's trash. And they were making a huge mess too. Like today, it's really windy and all that trash is blowing around everywhere and it sucks. But the point is, in that moment, while I'm just trying to have a peaceful moment in my backyard and watch the eclipse, I'm listening to someone go through trash. And do you think that person wants to be doing that? No. I'm assuming that it's necessity that is causing them to do that. And there's no reason. There's enough money which is all just like a fucking bullshit anyway. If we all decided that money wasn't real, like, don't get me started. But there's enough money, there's enough wealth in this world for us all to have enough. And yet, there are literal billionaires when there's also someone that has to dig through someone else's trash at 1:30 in the morning in order to survive. You know? So that is a theme that is coming up for me as part of the blood moon, because it was something that was happening while I was trying to enjoy it. Yeah. So, like, you know, my first instinct was to, like, blame the person that was ruining my vibe at the moment. But it's not their fault that they are in the circumstance that they're in that's causing them to do this. It's not their fault. And I don't envy them. And I have to hope that if I ever, for some reason, which it's not going to happen, but if I ever were a wealthy individual, I hope that I would share it. Because that's all it would take, you know? If the world's billionaires actually shared their wealth. I mean, that's not the... Anyway, whatever. I'm not used to this whole, like, social media thing anymore, so I'm not editing myself in the proper way. Whatever. So yeah, we're having a wake-up call right now. We are having a wake-up call right now. Things are about to shift dramatically. There is this sort of like energy of a held breath, and it's really not gonna be cute, but I do still have hope that at the end of the turmoil and the tower moment that we're on the precipice of will lead to a better future, because something's got to give. We are at another moment in humanity wherein we really need... sneeze. We're at another moment in humanity wherein we really need Kali. We really need Durga. We really need, you know, for lack of a better phrase, and you don't necessarily have to take this literally, but we really need the goddess to come in and take over a little bit. And that's not going to be pleasant for anyone. Yeah. Wow, this reading didn't turn out to be like cute and hopeful or anything, but you know, this is where we're at. And it's fucking weird, and it's wrong, and I just have to help. I still have to hope that the trajectory is overall going up. That we are progressing as a society, despite the fact that it doesn't look like it. But I don't know if that's true. I don't know anymore. Like, is humanity, are we just going to fucking blow ourselves up? As I've said many times, Mother Nature will survive us. She'll be fine. But I do feel as if she is about to eject us off this planet. And that's not me, like, being, like, apocalyptic or anything like that. When I say she's about to eject us off this planet, it could still take 100 years or more. You know, it's not necessarily something that we will see come to fruition in our lifetime, but we are at a turning point. And so far, it doesn't look like it's turning in the right direction, you know? I thought, as a child growing up, I thought that the world was ultimately going to progress, that society was ultimately going to become more understanding and compassionate towards each other as time went on. But the older I get, the more I realize that is not fucking happening. And maybe it's happening in some ways. I do think it's, you know what, let me pivot and kind of disagree with myself a little bit, because I do think it's happening on the ground. I do think that overall, the average human being is a little bit more understanding of each other than they used to be throughout my 42 years of life. I do think that overall, I get more respect from fellow human beings in everyday life than I used to get even 15 years ago. As far as just everyday life, human beings are getting more empathetic, more understanding, and it really doesn't feel that way online, however. So what do we do with this information? How do we make online life not as poisonous? I really don't know how. I'm just asking the question. How can we do that? How can we be as sweet and understanding of other human beings as we are in person online? Because I, by and large, see people being relatively kind to each other and or mostly leaving each other alone. 9 times out of 10. Like, yeah, there are definitely, like, violent people and really, truly hateful people out there. But overall, that's not the case. And maybe it's just because they're too timid to actually be that way in person. You know, like how a shitty commenter on your social media accounts is not really going to say that shit to your face. Does that make them less unkind if they're not willing to say it to you, to your face? Maybe. Because we all have impulses that we don't act on, right? And actions do matter. Intentions also matter as well. I think intention matters. Didn't we have intent as one of our... Yes, intent for the Knight of Swords. You know? How can we follow through with our actual intents? Our good intents. Because none of us were born closed-minded. None of us were born racist, sexist, xenophobic, etc., etc. We were not born that way. So any of us that have those tendencies as we get older, it's because it was taught to us by a society that doesn't have our best interest at heart. It's, we don't have to follow the laws of the land if they're shitty laws, if the people in power are bullshit authorities that just want to have all of the power and wealth for themselves. You know what I mean? Okay, I feel like I'm tipping into Jim Carrey, Courtney Love, insanity territory, which I would love to share a conversation with the two of them. But, how can we kind of bring this back around here? Choose joy, choose dancing, choose music. Because it's on its way. Dreams and new joy are within reach. It's within reach. And we have the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, meaning we're almost there. That's how I think of, like, that's just the key phrase that always pops up for me when I see the Nine of Wands is almost there. We are almost there. And we can band together to make our dreams a reality. What are our dreams? Like, at this point in time, my dream is just to, I don't know, have enough money to fix up my house, like repaint the trim, replace the porch, pay my taxes, go on a vacation every once in a while. I don't know. What are my dreams? Continue being a public servant, because I think that being a librarian in these end times is important. Continue going to museums, continue paying for PBS for as long as I can. I give them $5 a month, and it's like one of my only charitable donations in this world that I can afford, but you know, I want to believe in the things that I put my energy into, whether that energy is in the form of money, or whatever. Actual time, money, energy, attention. I want to be putting my time, money, and attention into things that I feel good about. And I think this combination of cards is really saying that we have more power than we think we do. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching this crazy unhinged video reading for your blood moon eclipse, March 2025, full moon, blood moon eclipse in Virgo. Oh my God. Okay. Bye.